Hey, what's up, everybody? This Eve coming to y'all with another episode of Hit the Sled. Hey, you guys know what time it is. It's football season. It's that time. NFL is here. Preseason games are going on right now. College football starts next weekend, and high school football started last on Friday. Hey, I'm glad to be back. Hey, we're gonna be coming to you this season with all new episode of Hit the Sled. But before we get started, please subscribe to my channel on YouTube. Hit the Sled. You can find me on YouTube. We're gonna be posting every week consistently now, all through the end of the football season, all the way to February. Every week, consistently, hit the sled. But like I said before, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the sled on YouTube, but also leave some comments. Hit the like button, and hey, man, just show the love, pass the word around. Hit the sled. We're gonna be coming, man. We got a lot of things we plan on doing this season, and man, I truly appreciate everybody that's watching my videos. Pass the word around, spread the word. We're gonna be doing it again like we did last season, but we're gonna be improving things. It's gonna be a lot better than what it was before. With that being said, I gotta always start off my season like I did last year. Brand new season, hit the sled. I gotta start my new season with, of course, Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes. It's a brand new season. A lot has changed from last year's season to this year's 2024 team. But before we get started on this 2024 team, we got to rehash some of the things that happened last year as far as with the Colorado Buffaloes. And man, unfortunately, the season didn't go for Coach Prime and the Buffs like we wanted it to go. They went 4-8, and I think it was a disappointing season as far as the way it started. But to be honest with you, it was a successful season as well, though. Man, Colorado came in. Coach Prime, he came in. He made wholesale changes, changed over the roster that went 1-11 from the previous year. They started off the season 3-0, but unfortunately, they lost 7 of the last 8. But there were losses where some games they were out of it, like say for instance with the Oregon game comes to mind right up the top. But they had games they should have won. They should have won the Stanford game. They should have won that game. They could have won the Arizona game. That's a game they could have won, and that would have put those two games alone would have put them. They would have made them bowl eligible. And having a 6-6 year going to a bowl game, that would be very, very much so looked upon as a successful season. But like I said just a couple seconds ago, they did not finish the season the way we would like them to finish. But in my opinion, they did ended up having a successful season. In that Coach Prime took them from a 1-11 season to a 4-8 season. That's progress. Now they made a whole lot of changes. Sean Lewis, who was the offensive coordinator from last year, he's been replaced. The DC, Charles Kelly, who was assistant head coach of Alabama the year before last year, who came over to Colorado as the defensive coordinator last year, he's also been replaced. They also replaced the offensive line coach, and we're gonna get to all of that later. He ended up leaving, and it's something where it didn't seem like Coach Prime, Sean Lewis, Charles Kelly, they were a good match. It did not seem like as the season played out, it did not see the philosophy of Sean Lewis, especially Coach Prime wanting them to run the ball. And we're gonna get to all that what happened in regard to why they couldn't run the ball. But it just seems like Sean Lewis, who was a head coach, left his head coaching job to come over to Colorado to be the offensive coordinator under Coach Prime. And I think they had some good things. They did some good things, I should say. Excuse me. Sean Lewis, Shador had a very good season, but also the offensive line let him down. We're gonna get to that later. Um, One of the things I want to stress though, it was a lot of wholesale changes at Colorado in regard to the roster. They moved Coach Prime out of 85 scholarship players. At least at least 70 of them ended up transferring out. They ended up leaving, and Coach Prime had to replace all those people, all those kids on that roster. It was a brand new team. It was a brand new team, and Coach Prime did this by utilizing the transfer portal. Transfer portal was a big part of his strategy coming into last season. He decided, Coach Prime made it, and this is something that he ended up doing this year as well, and we're gonna get to that as well. What he ended up doing is that he utilized the transfer portal. He made a decision in that he wasn't going to. Most college teams, let me back up. Most college teams, when they build a roster through high school, through recruiting high school, bringing them in, developing their kids, and relying strictly on high school players and substituting some of their players with the transfer portal. Coach Prime went in the opposite direction. Coach Prime, he decided he's going to bring everybody in from the transfer portal. Majority of his squad was from the transfer portal. He ended up bringing in some kids that were from that were from high school, but maybe if I it was about 12 kids that came out of high school that he brought in. The rest of the kids was straight transfer portal. And this was a decision he made. He made the decision that he could not wait to win later down the line. He wanted to win right now. And one of his best quotes are, "We're going to win right now." No, they're not going to waste no time. And they ended up trying to win right now. So they went with that strategy. They went with the strategy of, hey, we're gonna try to win right now by bringing in transfer kids. And that's the decision they made. And to be quite honest with you, that's the decision they are they're continuing to use right now, and even in going into this 2024 season. Colorado is a transfer portal team. They recruit via the transfer portal. They do recruit high school kids. They, like, say for instance, they hit the number one tackle in high school, Jordan Seaton, I should say. He's actually from here in Washington D.C. and he's a pretty good kid. He has great talent, but he's gonna need time to develop. He's gonna be playing, and he's gonna have to learn baptism by fire. Whereas though he's gonna be playing and he's gonna have a stroke because he's gonna be playing left tackle. So, but he has talent. Jordan Seaton is an excellent player. He actually really is. He's an excellent player. He's somebody who in 2 to 3 years could be an All-American down the line. And also by his third year, if he stays healthy and he continues to develop, he could be a first round pick. Hopefully he's a top 10 pick for him and his family. So this strategy is the strategy that Coach Prime decided to take moving forward. He is going to be a transfer portal guy. He's going to get majority of his kids from the transfer portal. And I don't necessarily agree with that strategy, but that's the strategy Coach Prime decided to take. He's getting a lot of heat from the outside world in college football. A lot of people are saying that he should not be doing that. Coach Prime said he ain't worrying about what nobody say to him. He don't care what nobody say. He doing what he feel as though he need to do, and you got to respect him for that. While I disagree with him because I feel like if you look at all the blue bloods, the top programs in college football, the Michigans of the world, the Georgias of the world, the Alabamas of the world, the Ohio States of the world. These are schools who get majority of their talent from high school. Now, if they need a player here and there, they're going to get some kids from the transfer portal. Michigan did that. Jim Harbaugh utilized the transfer portal to do great. He did it great last year. He did it great the year before. But it was only selected few. Their main course of recruiting players was not through the transfer portal. Their main way of recruiting players was through high school. Coach Prime has decided he's going in the opposite direction. So that's going to be something that down the line we're going to see if that strategy actually works. But moving forward, that's the strategy he's going to use. He's going to go strictly by the transfer portal. And to be honest with you, it's going to have to play out for us to see whether or not he's right or whether or not the traditional folks are right. So I give Coach Prime a lot of credit. He's going on. He's taking his path. While I might disagree with him, hey, he's saying that's what he needs to do to run his program for him to win. Who am I to stop? Who am I to say that's not the way for him to go? You know, I might disagree. I might feel as though, because I truly believe if Coach Prime utilizes if he recruits at the same intensity that Kirby recruits, Sharon Moore recruits, Ohio State recruits, Michigan Sharon Moore, recruits, all the top schools, Dabo down there in Clemson. If Coach Prime actually recruits and emphasizes high school, I believe Coach Prime can have a top 5 class. There's no doubt in my mind. I think Coach Prime get at the worst, a top 10 class. He will be competing with Oregon for recruits. Now, I don't know if Colorado's NIL money is as high as Oregon's, because Oregon got Nike money. I don't think the Buffs got that much, but by Coach Prime alone, recruiting, emphasizing high school, I truly believe he can have a top 5 class. Easy. He can get a top 5 class. But that's not the way he's deciding to go. He's deciding to go the transfer route, where that's the majority of where he gets his kids. And that is something that sometime down the line, we're gonna do a whole episode on that particular strategy. To talk to some people, find out if that's the right strategy moving forward. I truly don't know. I need to talk to some people. I need to find out whether or not that's a right. What makes Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, Clemson, Michigan, all the Oregon, what makes them wrong and Coach Prime right? That's the question I want to ask. I want to know why is Coach Prime right and they're wrong. So that's something that we're gonna be talking about down the line. But as we move forward, we're gonna be talking about the pressure cooker. What's coming up on Coach Prime this season? Because let's make no mistake about it. In the second season, it's a lot of pressure on Coach Prime. It's a lot of questions on Coach Prime. But we're going to be talking about that next on this episode coming up on Hit the Sled. We're going to be talking about the pressure, the expectation on the pressure on Coach Prime and the Buffs in 2024. We'll be right back.